Hi writers, today we're going to practice another skill to help us write words that we may not know how to spell just yet. We have worked on stretching out the sounds in a word. We have worked on using the word wall to help us spell words. And today we're going to use a new strategy. We're going to practice using chunks of words we already know to help us spell new words that we aren't familiar with that have that same chunk or that same little piece of a word in them. So you'll need paper and pencil for this activity or a dry erase board with a dry erase marker. So go ahead and pause the video here, go and gather the supplies you need for writing, and when you come back, we will get started. We know that when we get to a word we don't know how to spell just yet, we can stretch it out. If it is a word from the word wall, we need to write it in a snap. That means that you need to write the word quickly and correctly. There's another strategy you can use when you write. You can also write a word by listening for a chunk or a small piece of a word that repeats in other words. Listening for a chunk will make the new word easier to spell. If you know how to write the word cat, you can very easily write the word bat. Say those two words with me. Cat, bat. Listen for the chunk, the part of the word that sounds the same. That's right. Both of the words have the at chunk. If you can write cat, you can write bat. The only sound that is different is the beginning. B, bat, starts with a B. What chunk do you hear at the end of the word? Yes, at. B, at, bat. Let's try to write some other words that have the at chunk. Can you write hat? What sound do you hear first? What chunk do you hear at the end of the word? Write the word down on your paper. Good. Hat is at. Now try to write the word mat. What sound do you hear first? What chunk do you hear at the end of the word? Write the word down on your paper or your board. Great job. Mat is at. Let's read each of these words together from the top. Cat, bat, hat, mat. All of these words have the chunk at. Let's try another one. If you can write the word look, you can very easily write the word book. Listen to each of these words. Look, book. What chunk do you hear? Yes, both words say ook. If look is written L-O-O-K, then how would you write book? The only sound that is different is the first sound. B. Book starts with the letter B. What chunk do you hear at the end of the word? Great work. The chunk ook goes at the end. Let's try a few more words with the ook chunk. How would you write the word cook? Go ahead and write that word on your paper or your board. Yes, the only letter that is different is the first letter. Cook begins with the letter C. Let's try another one. Let's try hook. What sound do you hear first? What chunk do you hear last? Write the word on your paper or your board. Pause the video if you need more time. I will show you the answer on the next slide. Perfect. Hook begins with the letter H. The rest of the word is the same as the others. Let's start at the top and read these words together. Look, book, cook, hook. Now you are going to try some words by yourself. Are you ready for the challenge? The first word I'm going to give you is wet. Now, can you write jet, net, and pet? What chunk is the same? Yes, they all have the chunk et at the end of the word. You only need to change the beginning sound. Pause the video here if you want more time to write jet, net, and pet. Jet begins with the letter J. The rest of the word is the same as wet. Net begins with the letter N and ends with the et chunk. Pet begins with the letter P and also ends with the et chunk. I have one more challenge for you. Using the word you see here, try to write these words: fall, call, and tall. What sounds the same in each of these words? That's right. They all have the chunk all. Pause the video to give yourself time to write fall, call, and tall. Check your work. Did you spell fall correctly? Only the first letter is different. Fall begins with F, the letter F. Try the next one. Did you write the word call correctly? K, all, call. The last word was tall. It begins with the sound T, which is made by the letter T. The rest of the word is the same. Today, when you are writing words in a story and you get to a word you might not be able to spell just yet, you can stretch it out. If it is a word from the word wall, you need to write that word in a snap. That means you need to write it quickly and correctly. If you don't remember how to write the word, check the word wall to make sure. And remember that if you hear a chunk in the word that you know, it will make that new word easier to spell. Great job, writers. See you next time.